Morning. Good morning. It's the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. Hope you're doing well. Scrum Master, Agile Coach, and Scrum Master here to talk with you about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way. Give an idea so you get home to your family and friends and enjoy life, right? And not work so many 60, 80-hour work weeks and crazy hours, and at the same time bring value to your customer. I mean, some people think you can't do both, but I believe you can. And to balance that work and life and have some fun as we go, as I put, talk about fun. We throw some stuff that I do with the kids and have some fun with the family and go out and do stuff and with friends and stuff, just so that you can have a life outside of this and maybe some ideas and have some fun. Experimented the other day with a Coke Mentos experiment, and apparently he's got I want to say 54,000 views on his little 15-second video, which is cool. And I got some toothpicks yesterday. We're going to try some experimenting today because I got to work and make sure the kids are doing their stuff and get them in the house every once in a while. Because, and those are the two topics I want to talk about today, or actually there's kind of three, a little bit on the one. I want to talk about, okay, so my work closed the campus down. Now we're working from home next couple days or week, who knows. And the question is, what do you do with that extra hour and a half or so that you get for commute time? So we're going to talk about that. I might talk about that later in the week, give some ideas every day on things you can do because you get an extra hour and a half. What do you do with that hour and a half? Do you sleep? Do you watch cartoons? Do you sit and vegetate in front of the TV? Do you watch Netflix? Who knows what you do, right? Because all the bars are closed. You can't go out and drink with your friends. So what are you going to do? And there's more constructive. If you're watching those how to get rich shows and Gary V and all that, they're going to tell you, well, use it, make money. You look for the guys who the rich dad guy. He's going to tell you use that time to make more money somehow. You figured that out, right? So we'll talk about that a little bit. And then I'm going to talk about two different types of leadership style that I saw yesterday. And someone had asked me about management by walking around, which I'm a total believer in it. I do it every day. It's how I ran my entire career, is by management by walking around. I walked around every day. People are like, where are you at? I'm walking over to go check out the engineers over there, or the software engineers and electrical engineers, or whoever. I'm going to go sit down, go in their world, right? I'm not Caesar telling everybody, come to me, come to me. I actually go out to them. And so I got two types of leadership I want to talk about today. So the first one, let's talk about what do you do with that extra hour and a half, right? It's a chance to get better. And myself, I think my goal is going to be, there's a online class for automated testing. And I think I want to go through and get a bunch of badges in that group. I took a few. I'll put a post up there. It's the people that make the Selenium IDE product that goes on top Chrome for the automation thing, but they call it, I guess, Test Automation University. If you look it up there, you should find it. The one lady, Angie Jones, who I follow, and I love what she says from an automation test perspective. I would, if I had my own company, I hired her in a heartbeat to teach everybody how to do it, and you can change the mentality. But I'm gonna go there and spend an hour and a half every day. Can you imagine? Spend an hour and a half on that every day, learning how to do all the different testing techniques. And we're gonna go through different things that are out there that I will look at during my hour and a half, and then I will bring back to you all on what I see on the show. So try that Test Automation University. Check it out. It's free. They have all kinds of apps. You learn how to do some different test mindset, how to think in an automated way. It's a great university. I don't get paid for that. I'm just saying. It's not a plug. I just like it. I like the concept. It's very Gary V-ish, by the way, where they're giving free help to build a brand. It's very, very much like Gary V's discussion. So now I want to talk about leadership. Two kinds. Two things I saw yesterday. One, I saw my company. So I go in the office, and I had the very last dental appointment before I went in to check something on my tooth, and which they closed for the next 3 weeks. I walk in, and I go in for a reason. People, why are you going in? Because you got to go in. You got to see what's going on. You got to be in the front. So I walk in, walk down the halls, and I notice like 2/3 of the people aren't there. Very few. I mean, aisle after aisle after aisle, empty rows of chairs. They're not there. They're all working from home because we have the capability. They do pretty much. We work in a distributed environment. We have people in India, all around the United States, everywhere, right? So so we're used to it every day. So I'm in there waiting for management to finally make the call because no one's in the office. It might as well just tell everybody they can work from home. Otherwise, you set anxiety and jealousy and all these human emotions that cause you grief when you're trying to do stuff and get stuff done. And they were toying with this idea of A/B testing. Now, here's the thing. All the managers are in their office, all their doors are shut. So there's a visual. People on the floor, most of the managers have their doors shut. All you would have, and they're like, we were debating on making this A/B team, and one team will be in and one team will be out, and who would be in the office. Not sure why we need people in the office, but okay. Um, I mean, there is always an emergency crew or whatever. But I'm like, if you were to walk down the aisle of your own office and look around, there was nobody there to make an A/B team anyhow. So they're sitting there oblivious to the world, trying to plan all this stuff like a typical waterfall, and don't go walking around in their own office to see that the workforce has already made a decision for them, because the governors of the states are basically telling you stay home, and that non-essential work that's not associated with the grocery store for food or transportation is non-essential. But they're thinking they're going to make these decisions and they're going to do this elaborate stuff, and I'm like, the workforce and the governors of the states have already made this decision for. All you got to do is walk down and say, I would have been like, forget that idea. Everybody's not coming in. So I just thought it was interesting that all they had to do is walk around and not waste time worrying about planning that. So that's one kind of leadership. Doors are shut, oblivious to what's going around them and on the floor. All you have to do is walk on the floor and go, yeah, that idea is not going to work. Just forget it. Everybody go home. We'll email you. We'll let you know what we want to do, and we'll figure it out from there. But that's the leaders, the blind leadership, right? Totally blind. Doesn't do management by walking around. They get in the office every day, shut their door, and this is the kicker, right? What's the benefit of you being in the office and shutting your door if all you do is get on WebEx or VTC or Skype calls or conference calls? Then why do you need to be in the office? That's my question. If you're not interacting with everybody and you got the door shut, it's what it is. But that's one kind of leadership. And in an Agile world, that leadership we don't really need that kind of leadership. We want you to manage by walking along, help fix issues, see what's going around, and experiencing the floor. So that's one. The other kind of leadership is another leadership I saw from a Scrum Master yesterday. Yesterday was a lot of, you can get the tone of this thing, right? So I had the Scrum Master, and they're switching Scrum Masters on the team because they said the one Scrum Master wasn't doing so well. But he was doing okay. That's the question in the group. And we talked about past couple of days, value points, how do you figure out points to hours and all this stuff. And this one Scrum Master, who's not someone I coach, is kind of, but refuses to be coached. And they apply their methodology to Scrum. So they go through their classic, well, how many hours are there? And we're saying there's 1.6 hours to a point. So the team should be able to do 75 points based on the number of people and all that stuff per sprint. I'm like, good luck. So that leader has established in their mind, based on no methodology other than how many hours someone's in the office to how much work they can get done. There's no complexity, there's no knowledge base, there's no other information that goes into whether or not someone can do it. Their basis is on how well they estimated in hours how much it would take to do the job. Which, why we went to Scrum in the first place and went to point estimates, because that doesn't work. I'm like, okay, you're a certified Scrum Master. You've really failed the first part of the Scrum class. First part of the Scrum class, we spend all day saying how estimating by hours doesn't work, right? Anybody out there like got a CSM, PSM, whatever? What do we spend like most of the time doing that? So I'm like, okay, you just forgot half the class, right? But go with me on this one. So she's like, there's going to be 75 hours a sprint based on number of people, how many hours a day that we'll take for holidays off. So now it's just a calendar. It's like I said, first off, I warned them all, including the managers that were there in the conversation. I said, you better go talk to the team and you better share with the team what you're going to do. And don't go off into some little world and say, well, the team can do 75 points, so we should do 75 points. They're not asking for it. And then they wonder why they don't get people to do work and why they don't get people to perform. Because not only are you dictating what work to do and you're estimating the work for, now you're telling them how many points to achieve. Here's my question from a leadership, from a Scrum Master point of view. If you're over there telling the team how many points they're supposed to be doing, right? Why do we have sprint planning? Why do we have a team of people? Why all these thousands and thousands of Scrum teams across the globe have a sprint planning session where everybody agrees what velocity points they can take on? If it was just as easy as going through the number of hours in the week, dividing by the number of hours, and it equals a point to say how many points you can do and take off for holidays, then we wouldn't need the sprint planning session, right? We wouldn't need any of that stuff. We wouldn't need to go through that process. What I'm looking for, people need to think. They need to figure this stuff out, you know? Take a second, go, why, when you do stuff in the Scrum and Agile, look at the ceremonies, what they put together. They're not there so that you could butcher them, not there so you can come up with your own twist. They're the optimum approach that people have got through years and years of trial and error and experience and finding out what works, and they wrote it down and documented it. It's a great tool. It gives you the answer for a lot of teams. I mean, there's some wiggle room for teams based on we can't all be face to face because there's a freaking virus out there that makes us all work from home. So we can't do that part. So we have to adapt for that. So we're deviating from the book for a while because we're going to try to get the most optimum we can, but we can't do it. Right? But to go and to come up with your own way of estimating and totally forget the whole purpose of the team owning the work, owning what their capacity is, owning what they're going to commit to, defeats the whole purpose of Agile. And it's really sad is that I warned the Scrum Master, don't do it. Tell them your methodology, get their buy-in what the methodology is and see what they can do before you go saying stuff. No. It's like, why can't you do this? Like, you're going to get hit. Boom, boom. Comes a side shot from the team. No, we haven't been able to do that. I mean, even with the hours, because all the meetings we go to and all the other stuff that's making us non-lean, there's no way we can sign up for that and no way we're going to commit to that. Day one, boom, team hit her. She doesn't even get it. I don't even think she even sees it. She's now got 10 people against her. I told her not to do it. Told her to ask them, see what they think and what the philosophy is and how they come up with it and work as a team in a team environment. How to do that. Nope, nope, nope. So if you're a new Scrum Master and you're getting out to the job, do not go into a team and tell them how they want to run, because you're going to get 10 people who are going to throw you down the bridge, not listen to you, and they're just, it ain't going to go good. So that's my only advice from leadership. So a couple things. You as a leader, personal leadership, go out there. If you get that extra hour and a half because you're not commuting, go study something, go learn something. Today, Automation Test University, check it out. You should be able to find it. So Angie Jones is one. If you're looking for Automation Test at University, Angie Jones, look for that tie-in. You'll find it on the internet, and you might find it in LinkedIn. Leadership, management by walking around versus closing that door when you get in the office, man. You make those plans, walking around. You're like, oh, I have a great idea. We're going to do a team A and team B. Crickets, because there's nobody in the office. Right? That's what leadership number 2. Walk around. Especially on these days when stress is out there. If it's a stressful day and you're a leader and you're not walking around the floor to see how things are going, I'm going to tell you, you're not a leader. I don't know what you are, but you're not a leader. Leaders, when it's stressful, you look at all the war movies and all what the generals do? They go walk around with the troops when they're about to attack. Look at the old Roman movies, whatever, Vikings, whatever you want to call it. They walk around with the troops to see how the troops are. A lot of times those old generals, they used to sleep with the troops. They would go in disguise and sleep with the troops before a big battle to find out how the troops were doing. God, I just thought of that. But that's something about that management while walking around during this high stress moment. And then lastly, do not think that you knew better than the team and you're going to come down with, you're going to do this and this is what I think. Propose your idea and how the methodology you want to do this pointing. Propose your methodology. Get them to buy in and tweak it to what they think might work or give you some feedback so they own it and you'll do much better. So with that, that's what we're going to talk about today. And through the week, we'll talk about other things you can train in IT and learn through the week for an extra hour and a half. Maybe read a book. Oh my God, we're going to read a book. Have a great day. Ring the bell. Let's see where Eddie goes on his little Mentos Coca-Cola experiment. And today I probably take lunch break. When I take my lunch break, maybe we'll do a little more experiments on TikTok too. So, and I got a cat. Ooh, there's a cattail. Come down to visit me. She ate. Her belly's full. All right. You have a good day. Stay safe out there. Find ways to make this a productive 2 weeks for yourself. And hope your family's doing well. Take care. Bye. Hey, bye, Bubbles. Bye, Bubbles. See you guys. Happy scrumming. Happy scrumming.